Childhood and early life of Sir Frederick Grant Banting. Sir Frederick Grant Banting was born on November 14, 1891 at Elliston, Ontario, Canada. He was the youngest of 5 children of William Thomson Banting and Margaret Grant. Educated at the public high school in Elliston, he later on went to the University of Toronto to study divinity, but soon transferred to the study of medicine. In 1916, he graduated as a doctor and at once joined the Canadian Army Medical Corps and served during the First World War in France. When the First World War ended in 1919, Banting returned to Canada and was, for a short time, a medical practitioner at London, Ontario. He studied orthopedic medicine and was during the year 1919 to 1920 a resident surgeon at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. From 1920 until 1921, he did part-time teaching in orthopedics at the University of Western Ontario at London, Canada, besides his general practice, and from 1921 until 1922, he was lecturer in pharmacology at the University of Toronto. In 1922, he was awarded his MD degree together with a gold medal. Major works. Sir Frederick Grant Banting is best remembered as the principal discoverer of insulin. Later, he also became Canada's first professor of medical research at the University of Toronto. This is his first original article on insulin. Study of blackout. During the Second World War, he studied the causes of blackout during flying and helped Wilbur Franks in his invention of the G-suit. G-suits. The G-suit helped pilots avoid blackouts when subjected to gravitational force. Around the same time, he was also involved in self-experimentation of treating mustard gas burns. Awards and achievements. Military Cross in 1919. Sir Frederick Grant Banting was awarded the Military Cross in 1919 for heroism displayed during World War I. Captain Banting was a war hero. He was nominated for and received the Military Cross after the events of September 28, 1918. Captain Frederick Grant Banting, near Hind Court on September 28, 1912, when the medical officer of the 46th Canadian Battalion was wounded, he immediately proceeded forward through intense shell fire to reach the battalion. Several of his men were wounded, and he, neglecting his own safety, stopped to attend to them. While doing this, he was wounded himself. He had a severe interosseous artery in his right arm. But still, he set out notwithstanding his plea to be left at the front. His energy and pluck were of a very high order. He received the Reeve Prize of the University of Toronto in 1922. 1923 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the discovery of insulin. Banting and J.J. MacLeod were jointly awarded the 1923 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the discovery of insulin. His valuable contribution helped to treat diabetes mellitus, which used to be a dreaded fatal disease until then. Banting was disappointed to share the prize with MacLeod, who he felt was less deserving of the prize, than Dr. Charles Best. Sir Banting eventually decided to share his prize money with Dr. Charles Best. Sir Banting even didn't went to receive the Nobel Prize himself in the Nobel Prize giving ceremony. MacLeod also shared his half with James Collip. Honorary degrees from different universities. In 1923, the Canadian government granted him a life annuity of $7,500. In 1924, he received honorary degrees from the University of Western Ontario, the University of Toronto, the Queen's University in Kingston, the University of Michigan, and the Yale University. These were followed by honorary degrees from the University of the State of New York in 1931 and McGill University in Montreal, Quebec in 1939. He was also a member of several medical academics and societies in Canada and abroad, including the British and American Physiological Societies and the American Pharmacological Society. It is worth and noteworthy to say that he was also an FRSC degree holder, that is, he was a fellow of Royal Society of Canada. Flavel Medal. In 1931, Sir Frederick Grant Banting received the Flavel Medal, which is an award of the Royal Society of Canada for an outstanding contribution to biological science during the preceding 10 years or for significant additions to a previous outstanding contribution to biological science. In 1934, he was knighted as a Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire by King George V, and in May 1935 he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society. Flame of Hope. A flame of hope was lit in his honor before 4,000 spectators by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, on 7th July 1989. The flame is located at Sir Frederick Banting Square in London, Ontario, Canada, and will be extinguished only when a cure is found. Time capsule. On November 5th, 1991, a time capsule was buried in Sir Frederick Banting Square by the International Diabetes Federation Youth Representatives and Governor General Ray Nathisen to mark Sir Banting's 100th birth anniversary. The time capsule will be dug up when a cure for diabetes is found. Personal life and legacy. Apart from being a renowned doctor, Sir Frederick Banting was also an accomplished painter and was often in touch with artists such as A.Y. Jackson and Lauren Harris and the Group of Seven. This painting, titled Malign Lake, was painted by Sir Frederick Banting. He was very passionate towards painting and also joined the Group of Seven artists in a sketching trip to Quebec. He was also appointed honorary consulting physician to the Toronto General Hospital, the Hospital for Sick Children, and the Toronto Western Hospital. At the Banting and Best Institute, he researched silicosis, cancer, and the mechanisms of drowning. He married twice in his lifetime. He first married Marian Robertson in 1924 The couple had a son, William, in 1929 and eventually got divorced in 1932. Sir Frederick Grant Banting then married Henrietta Ball in 1937, who later on became Dr. Henrietta Elizabeth Ball Banting. Dr. Henrietta E. Ball Banting and Sir Banting married on 2nd of June 1939 in Toronto, York, Ontario, Canada. She was his student previously. A hero's death. On 21st of February 1941, he died from injuries sustained in an airplane crash in Musgrave Harbour, Newfoundland. Although he survived the crash, he passed away the next day. He was en route to England on work. It was the time of Second World War. He served as a liaison officer between the British and the North American medical services. 3 volleys broke the stillness at the graveside. Soldiers came to the salute. The bugler played last post, and Sir Frederick Banting was lowered to his last rest. Sir Frederick Grant Banting and his wife, Dr. Henrietta Elizabeth Ball Banting, are buried at Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Toronto. So rest in peace, respected Madam and Sir. Sir Banting lost one of his friends to diabetes mellitus. This motivated him to find a cure for his deadly disease. His home in Ontario is now a National Historic Site of Canada and attracts thousands of tourists every year. This is a picture of Sir Banting's home in Ontario, Canada. Sir Frederick Grant Banting was also a comic book hero. In December 1941, the Comic Book Corporation of America published its second issue of World Famous Heroes magazine. Sir Banting appeared on the cover, and his chapter told his complete life story from First World War hero to the discovery of insulin, right up to his death in 1941. Sir Frederick Grant Banting is the youngest person to receive the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine ever. He received the Nobel Prize when he was just 31 years old. Well, this is my own creation. When I was doing my MD in Physiology, then we had to prepare a life history of any one of the scientists as an assignment, and I chose Sir Banting. First of all, I really like him very much, and yes, we also share the same birthdays. That is, our birthdays are same. That is 14th of November. Sir Frederick Grant Banting, he was born on November 14th, 1891 in Alliston, Ontario, Canada, and he died on February 21st, 1941 near Musgrave Harbour, Dominion of Newfoundland. At the time of his death, he was just 49 years old. Sir Banting and Best with one of the dogs when they were finding a cure for diabetes mellitus, which led to the discovery of insulin. So, thank you for all. Be safe during this time of pandemic, because COVID-19 is spreading like anything. Be safe. You stay in your home. And this is Himanshu Shekhar Gogoi. Thanks and Namaskar. Namaskar Physiology. So, here we are, and we always will be with you always. Be safe, stay healthy, and stay in your home. Thanks always. Thank you.